About 50% of introverts say they feel more connected and recharged after a period of solitude. Welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner. And today we are here discussing more introvert insights. Today we're diving into the unique ways introverts thrive in work, school, social media, and beyond. So whether you're crushing independent projects at work, finding your focus in school, or just simply recharging with a little alone time, introverts have some amazing strengths that often go unnoticed. In this episode, we will explore what makes us tick, backed by research, relatable examples, and maybe even a little laugh or two. If you've ever felt like your quiet superpowers weren't appreciated, this video is for you. Let's get started. In the workplace, work preferences. Introverts often thrive in environments that allow for independent work. So it's no surprise that according to a report by Myers-Briggs, 59% of introverts prefer solitary tasks compared to only 38% of extroverts. Think about how much more productive you feel when you can focus without interruptions, whether it's writing a report, brainstorming ideas, or working on a creative project. For us introverts, solitude isn't just a preference, it's where our best ideas come to life. So if you're in a role where constant collaboration feels draining, don't hesitate to advocate for quiet, focused time. It's not just about comfort, it's about doing your best work. This preference stems from the way introverts process information deeply and thoughtfully. Independent work allows them to focus without the distractions or overstimulation of group settings, enabling higher productivity and creativity. Even though I really don't want to because it's going to hurt my brain, let's imagine for a second being in a brainstorming session where everyone is throwing out ideas at lightning speed. For many introverts, this can feel so overwhelming, but give them time to work solo and they'll often come back with a detailed plan or solution that's been thoroughly thought through. Number two, in families, teenagers and school performance. Introverted teenagers often shine academically because they thrive in environments that allow for focused, solitary study. A study in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that introverted teens tend to perform better in school compared to their extroverted peers. Why? Because they prefer quiet spaces where they can absorb material deeply rather than the distractions that often come with group projects. As a teenager, maybe you found yourself excelling on essays or exams after spending hours and hours and hours studying in your room, while others needed a study group to stay on track. This doesn't mean introverts dislike collaboration entirely, but they thrive when given time and space to work through concepts independently before sharing ideas in a group. For example, think about a group project in high school. The extroverts might dominate the discussion, but the introverted student is likely the one behind the scenes, organizing the research, double checking the data, or quietly ensuring the final project shine. Because you know what? That's how we do. That's what. Number three, in social relationships, social media use. For introverts, social media is less about building a massive following and more about meaningful connections. A survey by the Pew Research Center found that 54% of introverts use social media to stay in touch with close friends and family, while extroverts are more likely to use it to expand their network. And when introverts post, it's often something meaningful or heartfelt, not just another random selfie. Well, but if you've ever scrolled past the noise and paused to share a thoughtful update or a meaningful quote, you're using social media the introvert way. Introverts often approach social media as a tool for meaningful connection rather than constant broadcasting. They may post less frequently, but their content, whether a thoughtful quote or a family update, tends to resonate deeply with their followers. Think of an introvert sharing a heartfelt post about personal milestone or a cause that they care about. Their followers engage not because they post often, but because their content feels genuine and meaningful. So for me, I'm becoming more comfortable with it. I do share thoughtful content, but I also share jokes. And I also share posts of me just being quirky and, like just being, like just being me. Um, so I feel like we use it for different reasons, but I do agree that we're more thoughtful in what we share. Number four, in education, test performance. When it comes to exams and assessments, introverts often have the edge. The British Journal of Educational Psychology discovered that introverted students scored 10 to 15% higher on standardized tests than their extroverted counterparts. This is largely thanks to their focused study habits and ability to prepare thoroughly without external distractions. If you've ever been the person who thrives on review sessions at home instead of last minute cramming in a very noisy group, you're not alone. Picture an introverted student in a study hall. While others might chat or struggle to focus, they're in their element, fully immersed in the material in this wonderful quiet zone. Their consistent focus pays off on test day where their preparation shines, of course. Introverts' ability to concentrate and their preference for quiet, uninterrupted study sessions make them naturally suited for test preparation. They often excel when there's a clear structure and less social pressure involved. Now, the reality of it is there are some people who prefer to have like study groups because they can bounce ideas off of each other, and then you have introverts who prefer to just do it alone because it's easy. I like to basically like just stay focused. I feel like when you're in a study group, sometimes you don't really get a lot of studying done because sometimes the conversation will just drift and yeah. So of course, the less distraction, the more focus and the more information that we can retain. And last but not least, number five, mental health and well-being, loneliness and connection. Introverts often get a bad rep for being loners, but research from Psychology Today tells a different story. We're less likely to report feeling lonely than extroverts, even though we spend more time alone. About 50% of introverts say they feel more connected and recharged after a period of solitude. For us, connection doesn't always mean social interaction. It can mean reflecting, journaling, or spending time in nature, my favorite things. It's in those quiet moments that we find energy and clarity. For introverts, alone time isn't a sign of loneliness, it's a chance to recharge and reconnect with themselves. Solitude allows them to reflect, process emotions, and gain clarity, making them feel more grounded and connected when they do engage socially. Imagine an introvert spending their evening curled up with a good book or journaling after a long day. To them, this isn't loneliness, this is bliss. After recharging, they're more likely to engage meaningfully with loved ones instead of just going through motions. There is a misconception that alone equates to lonely, and I will tell you that that is not the truth. I love to spend my time alone, and trust and believe I am not lonely. I got me, myself, and I, so we have a good time all the time. but but in my alone time, there's so much that I can do. Whether it's nothing at all, or I go to the park, I go for like nature walks in the park, um, or I do journaling, or just planning ahead what like what I'm going to do, or again, nothing. But we're not lonely. That is a huge misconception. The alone time is when we like to recharge, especially after a long day in the office, being around people. Sometimes even in the office, I like to just go off and be by myself, which I do at lunchtime. So it's very healthy for us to do. It's very healthy for us to have that alone time to recharge so that we can be our best selves. I find that when I don't get time to recharge, I either get a little cranky or impatient or just don't talk at all because it's all energy. It's all energy that is being used. And I need to plug in somehow. I need to plug in somehow. So yeah, so we like our alone time. If you have ever felt that the world doesn't quite understand the unique strengths and wonderfulness of introverts, my book Unlocking the Introvert is here to help bridge that gap. In it, I explore topics like the quiet power of introverted leaders, the resilience introverts draw from introspection, and the importance of honoring alone time in relationships. So, whether you're navigating the workplace, family dynamics, or personal growth, this book provides insights that help you embrace your introverted qualities as strengths, not weaknesses. Unlocking the Introvert is a guide for introverts and those who support them to create spaces where quiet voices are heard and valued. Get your copy today to start unlocking the potential that lies within. My book is available on the website societyofintroverts.com, and it's also available at Amazon and online anywhere books are sold. Thanks for tuning into this week's Introvert Insights. If any of these topics resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share with someone who could use a little inspiration. Also, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe so that we can help my channel to grow. Excuse me. This is our space, and I would like for us to communicate. So please drop some comments below so that we can have dialogue. Let us continue to evolve. Let's evolve and grow together. Introvert out.